Everyone, I'm in a different spot today trying to get better Wi-Fi signal. If this gets choppy, I'll end up just deleting the stream and then posting the recorded version of it. But so far, it looks like the frame rate's probably okay. So, Fridays are always a slow day on the recruiting side, so I don't really have any job opportunities to share with you. But certainly, if any of the positions, let me just phrase it this way: if you're looking for a job, I can help connect you with people that are hiring. If you're having a hard time getting people to reach out to you on LinkedIn. So basically, what I'm doing now is I'm starting a database of all the recruiters and the jobs that approach me, and then another list of people that are looking for jobs, and then I'm building a way to be able to just quickly link them up, so that I don't actually need to do a lot of manual work for this. So just really trying to help people get their first job or better job in the Salesforce community. So what I thought I'd go over instead today was some Apex code that I'm working on. And let me switch to my full desktop here. So this is very much a work in progress, and I'm going to back up to like how I started this. So what I'm trying to do is take Stripe data. Stripe is like the like payment system where you could have credit card payments, and you can set up like recurring payments with your customers. Those are called subscriptions. So what I want to do is connect Stripe to Salesforce such that when I'm in Salesforce, I can basically look at the status of all my subscriptions and look for customers that are maybe behind payment on their like monthly payments. Um, this is something that I'm doing for another customer, so I kind of hesitate to like share too much. Um, but I think this is at a raw enough state that it really wouldn't impact or share too many details of what they're trying to accomplish. Um, so how I start with this is inside of the Sockle Explorer, Sockle X. So that's what this tool is here. And in the upper right corner, I click on Apex, and now I can just start writing anonymous Apex and quickly test things. So in the past, I probably would have used a Visual Studio to do this, but the feedback loop that I have with this tool, I would say, is a lot faster and much easier for me to grab debug logs and actually see what's going on. So usually I'll work inside of this tool with little snippets, and then I'll take that and move it into Visual Studio Code and start it inside of the larger project. Um, so the way that I'm setting this up is instead of having like my Stripe API key embedded right in the code, I've set up a custom setting inside of Salesforce. And that's what this Stripe integration record is here. So I get a list of all the Stripe integrations, which I really only expect there to be one record. And inside of there, I store my key. So now when I'm making the HTTP request to the Stripe API, I build up the authorization header. And so the name of it is authorization. It's a bearer type. So you do bearer, and then you basically just put in your key name. And normally I would try to do authorization like this through named credentials, but it seemed like it always wanted to have like both username and password. And with the Stripe authentication, you really don't have a username and password. You just have this key. So I wasn't able to get named credentials to work. So this was the next idea that I had. If you know of a way to get the named credentials to work, I would be very interested to hear about it. Um, so basically, this is just doing a GET request against the Stripe API where I'm saying, give me a list of subscriptions, and we're getting all of them, and I'm going to limit the request to only 10. So now it makes the request here, and then it checks for response code. And then basically it's JSON that we're getting back. So I deserialize that into just a generic object. I might go through and create like a more formal object to load this into, or I may not. I'm not quite sure yet. But this is basically just how I started it. So there's a property called data, which is the list of items that you'll get back from Stripe that are the subscriptions. So I just output those, and then there's also a has more, which is like either says true or false, to know that hey, was there more than 10? I anticipate that there's going to end up being millions of records that I need to download, and I'll need to do those in like batches of 100, because 100 is the max that Stripe will return to me. So I can run this, and then I get feedback really quick here. So it shows these are all the records that I got back, and at the end there is more data. So I mean, if let's say I have a typo in here, like let's delete that semicolon and run it. So this, I'm getting that feedback that fast. I'd say that's, a number of seconds faster than what I would get in Visual Studio. So that's why I like it. Put it back. So my plan is that I'm basically going to move this into some type of queuable Apex class, such that it'll do the request, process the data, and then if there's, well, these both say more data. This should have said no more data. There's data. So if I tell it to get like 100 here, then yeah, there's no more data. I think I only have like 20 test records set up. But anyway, so if there's more data, then basically I'm going to then call the queuable class again, and then it'll do another request, and then I'll do it again, and just keep doing it until there's none left. So I think I can do that basically forever without, and then I won't hit like any of the API limits, assuming that, I know there's like a max APIs that you can call in a 24-hour period, but I think this will be slow enough that it won't matter. If it ends up being like too fast and I do start consuming them, then I'll probably have to come up with some other technique to make some sort of delay in that process. Like maybe if there's more data, then maybe I'll send a platform event, or schedule, or maybe you do a schedule and have it schedule a minute later. I don't know. There's lots of ways to do it. Yeah, so that's all I have for this one. I've got a lot of balls that I'm juggling. So as I make progress on this, I'll try to show some more too. And I'm kind of hoping that I can do this in a generic enough way that I should be able to like package it up and let you download it and use in your org. I just need to make sure that I'm not sharing too much, because I don't want to have any problems with the project that I'm working on. Okay, that's it for this one. Have an awesome day, and I'll see you guys tomorrow.